Can you see me well? Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Joanna Adebi. I am the president of Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, also known as COPE, and we are so excited to have you join us for this very first session of the COPE Adult Education Series, a series dedicated to empowering individuals through education, personal growth, and career advancement. I have with me here our guest, Dr. Mia G. McGee. I'm going to say a little bit more, but I'll definitely, if you want to say a quick hi to the people.
Hi, everyone. I am just so delighted to be here today. Thank you so much again for the invite. I'm excited to share today. So thank you so much for being able to open up your platform today to get this word out today about this great, I just say this great program.
Awesome, awesome. Looking forward to hearing about it. So, our
Mhm.
COPE Adult Education series, this series is especially meaningful because COPE was founded by my father, Pastor Cedric Smith, who truly understood the challenges of traditional education. My father dropped out of high school in 11th grade in the 70s, but he didn't let that define his future. Instead, he turned his experiences into fuel for change and created opportunities for others, such as myself, me, my sisters, the members of his church, to achieve our educational and career goals, no matter where we've started. So today's webinar is all about breaking barriers and unlocking new opportunities through adult education. So for those who are watching, whether you're watching now or at a later time, whether you're here to earn your GED, explore high school diploma options, or advance your career through training programs, this session is designed to inspire, inform, and equip you with the tools you need to succeed. So we're honored to again welcome our special guest, Dr. Mia G. McGee. She's an educator, speaker, and entrepreneur who has dedicated her life to helping individuals achieve their full potential through vision virtual learning. I believe this is among other endeavors she has as well. She will share valuable insights on how adult education can open doors to new opportunities and how you can take the next step toward achieving your goals. So let's get started, stay engaged, take notes, and most importantly, remember that it's never too late to rewrite your future. So again, welcome, Dr. McGee. Um, so I'm going to start off with a couple of questions and we'll just, go from there. So your journey is incredibly inspiring from reading your bio, and it's been shared on social media, and I can also put it in the chat for those who have not read the post. But can you share what motivated you to enter the field of adult education and career training?
Well, it was something that really it really happened to me in a very surprising way. I always loved education, even when I was in school. I always aspired to do my very best. Wanted to always try to do things to, of course, make my parents proud. And wanted to do good. So in school, I really did very well in school. But I can remember specifically in the ninth grade, I had been doing so well, was in with classes they call bio prep classes, advanced honors classes, AP classes. And I can remember in the ninth grade, something seemed like it just was, I guess because I was transitioning from that, not from that, junior high to high school, I was just like stunned, like, oh, into high school. And I can remember having some challenges at one point, just kind of feeling like I was trying to feel my way. And it was in some different subjects. I was doing well in them. I didn't have any problems with as far as failing or anything, but I was just having challenges. And I remember talking to my mom about it, and she encouraged me at the time. And I was able to get past those challenges. But I had some very supportive educators, teachers at the time. I mean, I've always had the greatest teachers seem like, and so they were able to help get me steered back, motivated me. I had, one particular teacher. I mean, she pretty much was kind of a second mom to me. Always tried to be like my educational mom in a sense, and I always remembered. I always said if I ever was put in a position to help someone in that way, I would do it. And I always used to remember lining up my baby dolls and teddy bears as a child, and was teaching them. My mom always said, you want to be a teacher? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then as I got into school a little bit more, I decided I wanted to do medical. Like I wanted to be allied health, wanted to do something medical. and said, okay, I want to be maybe possibly biomedical studies, maybe even become a doctor, medical doctor at one point. I had actually started school for that. And so I got into college and everything, got into medical school, actually into nursing school, was going to go into nursing and then end up was switched up from nursing to biomedical studies. Then ended up got a lot of training in it, even teach classes, taught medical assistant, taught all kind of courses in it, but saw that that just wasn't for me to be in the full-time medical profession. So I said, okay, but come to find out that teaching was still there, that wanting to educate still was there. So I ended up teaching as a adjunct professor for a school that did medical assistant, pharmacy technician, all of those different allied health programs, and I fell in love with it. And so in the process of doing that, I also began wanting to help others that were in the need of being able to get their GEDs and stuff. So I ended up one day I was in between a job situation where I was like, I don't have a job right now. I'm trying to see because in that profession it's ins and outs, coming and going, depending on how the market is for that particular field. And there was an ad. Actually, there was like it wasn't even really an ad that I can remember. I wanted to help in GED. So I called the GED center and I said, "Do y'all have any openings?" I just came over me just to want to help someone get their education, wanting to help someone that needed the GEDs, preferably not K through 12, none of that. I just wanted to do straight adult education. And I called in and the person answered the phone. They said, "How did you know we need somebody? We need somebody to teach. Really not teach, but be like an intake specialist to help the students get in, help them, and all of that." I said, okay. I went in, I interviewed that day and got the job the same day. So in the process of time, me being an intake specialist, I was able to learn ins and outs of how the GED program worked, how the different tests were, how to do the practice tests, not knowing that this was my destiny for me to end up wanting to do this for my own organization because I had my nonprofit organization all the way back then. So I integrated all that I learned from that job into the nonprofit organization that I have currently, and that's how it started. It started from just wanting to be a help to a organization, and it was a job that I never will forget. It was one that made me just stay in education. Even when I stopped teaching the allied health, I still was doing adult education. And so now I'm still doing it, and I love it. I love seeing all ages receive their education, but especially our adult education students, because sometimes they feel like they've been left out and that they have no way to go back and do what they started. So that's how it started out for me.
So how well, thank you for that answer. So how long have you been doing this in the field of adult education?
I have been doing adult education now for going on 20 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in your bio that words have power. How has this philosophy shaped your work with students and professionals looking to improve their lives through education?
Well, it has I really believe in manifestation. I really believe in speaking what you would have to come to pass into your own life, not waiting on someone else to determine it for you. And it means so much because I can remember times when I would be speaking things and I'd be like, I remember even with this example you just said about how I got into adult education, I remember saying, if I was in that position, it wouldn't be like that. You know? and and so it's just like I knew that at that time I had to take authority over what I wanted to happen for me, even in my own situation. And so when I was given the opportunity to possess the way to even have a program, I remember one time I even was in a program, and I remember telling the director that if I had my own program, it wouldn't be like that. And I was awarded an opportunity to be in the same category of training they were in. And I did the very thing I said I was gonna do. I did the best all the way to the end, to try to make sure my program stood. And I feel very proud that the students I had at that time, they really did get what they came for. And that was to get that valuable education they needed. And it was for them to be able to not have to worry about paying at that time. And so I'm so grateful that I was able to get that opportunity to work with them during that time I did. And so words do have power. We just don't realize the power that we have that possesses. And it comes so much from so many concepts, whether it's a biblical, spiritual concept that a person holds dear to them, or whether it's just a feeling that a person has. It has power. And because when that comes out of your mouth and you have that authority come behind it, oh, it's going to produce something. Now you got to determine what you want it to produce. Is this the thing that's going to happen?
Right, right, definitely.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so what are some of the biggest misconceptions about adult education and career training that you like to break?
Um, that now I tell you have some great questions. Um, I can remember, starting out in adult education and how sometimes it's looked down upon, as if it's not superior education. You're not going to receive the same type of education that you would if you had went to school K through 12, or you need to get your diploma versus your GED because one of them is better than the other one, this, that, and the other. And that's the misconception I want to put there out there to people. Just because you don't receive the traditional education that you would have done if you were in the traditional age group before, doesn't mean that you cannot still go back and do what it is you set out to do. Sometimes in life we're not, we're thrown things in life. They're sometimes not things that we are expecting. Things happen, situations occur. And sometimes in life you have to be able to realize that no matter when you start, you have to be able to say, well, look, I didn't get it then, but now I have a mindset to do it. The mindset is what's going to be determinative of your success, not the age you are, not the grade level you stopped on, but where are you now? What do you want to do now? If you keep going backwards in your mindset of where you used to be, you'll stay stuck back there and you will never succeed in what it is you want to do. So regardless of what a student's age is, I've had students, my oldest student I've had was up in their 80s. So, you know,
Wow.
and sometimes people go back to school for different reasons. And
Mhm.
her reasoning was because she just wanted to get her high school diploma.
Mm, okay.
It wasn't because she was going to college. It wasn't because she was going to get a new career. It was because she wanted to just have the satisfaction of knowing she received her education. And
Mhm.
that's why she did it. So I want everyone to know that just because your diploma doesn't have what the next one has on it, or you have a GED versus a diploma, versus vice versa, you may be 35. Your child may be graduating at 17, and you want to go back to school. Why not both of you get your diploma the same year? Y- eh,
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's a
it
good
you
idea.
know it's rewarding,
Yeah.
and not only that, the programs that we have, a lot of times you can get a lot of life learned credit in it too. You could have went to school and you might have earned credit, depending on the program you select. You may be able to use those transfer credits in order to be able to get credit. You might have taken the GED years ago and now you want to take a practice test to see where you are. So there's so many different options now, and you never know. You may have an organization that may want to sponsor you to come into one of our programs. So you just gotta inquire and see what it is you want to do, and go from there.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question.
Hmm.
So tell us, okay, so the question says your organization provides GED, high school diploma options, and career training.
Hmm.
So can you explain how these programs help individuals, transfer their lives, but also just to kind of
Hmm.
expound upon Vision Virtual Learning? Let's talk about what it offers, and then I'll ask a follow-up question. I don't want to give you too much, but like, what is it that your
Okay.
organization provides, and how does the programs help, and what makes it unique and compared to other adult education programs? So it's kind of a two-part question.
Okay. Well, the thing I love about Vision Virtual Learning is that it is a platform that was designed and created by me. It is actually funded by the means of several different ways. The nonprofit 501(c)(3) organization that is responsible for Vision Virtual Learning is Vision Community Economic Development Incorporated. They partner with us in order to be able to give us a backing to help us to be able to establish different ways of funding and things of that nature to help us in it, because for a while the vision was just really standalone with my business. My business is AHP Consulting and Business Solutions LLC, and so we provide the technical assistance to bring forth the program. Um, so we are partnered together in order to bring the programs that we do provide. We're always looking for people to assist us in the efforts where we have partnerships. We have people that have partnered with us, organizations that have partnered with us. And so the visionvirtuallearning.org is actually a website that you can go to. And you can look on the site and it tells you the different programs that we offer. And we try to provide as many resources that we do on the site, so that way if you are looking to do a specific type of program, we want to get you the information that we have available. So if there's a program that's not listed, we still encourage you to contact us so we can still see if there's a partner in your area or maybe somewhere we can connect with that can give you the resources. Because what I found out was, even when we were going through the season of time where we were going through having to be inside with the pandemic some years back, there were so many people that felt like their education was at a standstill. They couldn't do the things they wanted to do. They were locked inside. And so that the platform really thrived in that time too, because it gave people an opportunity to take classes, inquire and do all of these things virtually. Also, it was a time where a lot of the platforms that were not virtual became virtual. I've seen a lot of, a lot of organizations that were just doing in person become virtual as a result. Actually, I was in in the committee of a lot of different ones, including GED.com. I was part of that. Now GED offers remote testing. That was one of the things that I was pushing at that time, and I am partnered with GED.com, and they now do remote testing. Now they do remote ACT work keys testing. I'm part of that too. So there's a lot of things that have been pushed by some people in the background. You never know who was back in the background pushing it, because I saw a need for it. So now I'm seeing a lot more people more interested in online, where at first online was kind of like, oh no, you can't do it online. You got to do this in person. But now people realize that online is technology at its best. You have to have that online option because everyone cannot go in person. It's just not able to be done. And sometimes it limits people from being able to complete things if they can't do it virtually. So that's what we were really excited about when we've seen all of these initiatives happen with online.
Awesome, awesome. Well, with that question about online, with the rise of, like you're saying, the pandemic gave opportunity for more people to offer their services online. So, with the rise of online education, remote work, how do you see adult education evolving in the next few years?
I see it being in the forefront because um, it's going to provide more people the opportunity to be reached. When you see so many people that want the services, and then so many times as we see the marketplace, the workforce is being impacted with the number of workers that are being employed now, and with virtual training, you can get more people serviced with technology and not have to have so much manpower. And a lot of times companies are looking to do that more because they feel like they can get more for the buck. So, if they don't have to have 25 teachers and they can only have maybe 5 people that are manning the site, then they're going to go for that. They're not going to hire all these extra people when they can do the same thing and get more results. So, it's sad to say because I'm a hands-on instructor. I love being in person. I love, helping my students one-on-one. But I have become such a lover of online now. You can barely get me away from the computer screen. I'm like, I have a friend of mine now, she calls me the walking computer because
Oh, girl.
I love online because I have gotten a chance to, just like with you. If it hadn't been for this program, I would have never met you or your organization. So it's like you're limiting yourself if you're not looking to do virtual, because you get a chance to open up your horizon to more opportunities when you do virtual because it gives you a chance to be able to connect more with other people and do more.
Right, right. No, definitely. Um, I'm sorry, I put myself back on mute. Um, so could you again, and I did put it in the chat, give the information of how people can reach you and just kind of describe what the process is for someone who hasn't been on the site, what they can expect and where they should go from there. Just kind of talk about how to navigate your program.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, when you go to visionvirtuallearning.org, you will see the homepage. And on the homepage, it tells a little bit about us and what we do. It talks about the fact that we are, that we are a resource for for non-traditional learners, but there are traditional learners that come to our site, of course, as well. And when you go into the site and you click enroll now, you will see a whole list of different services that are provided there. And then you can just scroll down. Thank you so much. You can scroll down. When you go to enroll now, if you see that green tab up there, it says
Okay.
enroll now. If you click enroll now, it's going to open up the screen that gives you all of the options of the different programs we offer. And then when you go to the right, you'll see how to get in touch with that program. Like for example, we have the adult high school program there, and that's for the residents of Alabama, the state of Alabama, specifically. Now we do offer programs for other states, but that would be listed below in the second link. So you just have to kind of read and see what you're looking for specifically because we do have some sites that are that are on site, and we have some that are on virtual campuses. So that's how you would connect and go from there.
Okay, so I'm gonna click okay, let's say, and we briefly had talked about this before. I think is we're talking about how timely this discussion is because, like we mentioned, there's a lot that's going on. Federal workers, people even in the private sector, people are being laid off or threatened with reduction in force and things of that nature. And so if a person hasn't, they may find that when they're looking for other employment or even if someone wants to start a business, maybe they feel like they want to get some training before they make that venture or that endeavor. Um, so I'm just going to click on one of these, continue education, and let's see. Okay, so
Okay.
I can search for some. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, for example, that is our connection there for the short-term learning programs. So, for example, if you go down to featured courses, so you can just look at some of the featured courses we have. For example, A to Z grant writing, blockchain fundamentals, need to know how to speak Spanish, learn how to speak Spanish, start a nonprofit, accounting fundamentals. So these are classes that can be taken in 6 weeks, or you can actually take the course anytime with like self-guided instructor options, which means you can take it for 3 months without an instructor there. So you can sign up straight from that particular link, and it will give you a certificate once you complete it, coming straight from us, and you will have some information and some learning there right at your fingertips. You never had to leave your house. You didn't have to go anywhere. And you have learned how to do some things, for example, there.
So
Like, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna ask, so are some of these, or do what is the cost? Are they free or is there a minimal cost or it just kind of varies on what you
It
define it?
varies. It
Okay.
varies. It depends on the class that you take. I mean, we have some classes as low as $45. And then we have some classes that go into, like, for example, 3 courses could cost you $3.99 for a 3-part course. It just depends on which program that you take, which class you take. So, that's the short-term courses. Now, if you scroll down right there, go to it says interested in advanced career training. We have also courses that take 6 months or less, that are like more advanced. For example, if you want to, let's click business for me, the business one. So, for example, you can go there. If you scroll down, there are different advanced programs you can take. Human resource professional with payroll practice and management. Now, these are more advanced, so these courses will take longer to complete, and they will be courses that you can get certifications in. Become a career counselor and life coach, freight broker trainer, agent, things like that. So, these are the advanced career training programs. So, we even have programs available for if you want to become a medical assistant, for example,
Oh,
and you can do your clinicals at a local office. So there's a lot of programs. I'm telling you, there are so many of them.
so
Pages and pages of them.
this new one right here that says voucher included, what does that mean?
That means that the certification exam voucher is included in the cost of the program.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll become a certified, you would be getting your grant professional your certification for grant professional. So
Uh-huh.
that's offered by the certification institutes inside of the cost of the program itself.
Oh, okay.
So you
Okay.
wouldn't have to pay any additional amount to get your certification for that.
Oh, okay. Everything's up front. Okay, I understand.
Mhm.
Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are options for financial assistance, or this kind of like refers people to a place.
Well, that particular link will refer to will refer if they need additional assistance, and they were not able to pay out of pocket, and it gives you some different options there. If you had to do that, it just gives you the different financial assistance options there for that.
Oh, okay. Like somebody could finance
Yeah, because those
other
programs,
information.
yeah, because those programs cost a little bit more than just the single programs cost. But
Right.
even with our single cost programs, you can set up like assistance through a program through that as well. But it's not financing, but it's where you can pay payments. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Okay.
all type of
Awesome.
options. Yeah, and if they get confused on the website, all you have to do is call me, and I can walk them through it.
Yeah. And can you give the number again?
They can give me a call at 251 if they want to call the local number 251-308-1880, or they can call me toll free at 877-324-1155. Again, I am the administrator for Vision Virtual Learning. Any of the courses that are offered there, I can assist with. So you don't have to feel overwhelmed. I know sometimes when you're registering for things, you may get confused, like, what is this course about? Trust me, I can tell you about every single program.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So after somebody takes a course or as they're
Mhm.
thinking about this, um, does your organization, whether it's through this or another aspect, because I see that it took us to the consulting and business solutions. Do you
Mhm.
offer career coaching or what kind of other services? I know it's probably outside of Vision Virtual Learning, but what other
Mhm.
services do you provide?
Well, through AHP, well, AHP Consulting is actually the business itself that will be certifying you far as if you get a short-term certificate.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, yeah, and AHP is the business that I own. And so you will be able to get your certificate through us. And when you do your advanced training, all of that will come through us as well. Um, so, um, so if you need career coaching if you need career coaching, business coaching, or life coaching, or wellness coaching, I am a certified professional coach through a certification program, and I also offer that too if somebody wants to be a certified life coach. So yeah, it's a lot of things that you can do up under our business itself, and that is one of the things I do. I do coach individuals who want to have help with their businesses. If they need help even with their LLCs, nonprofit 501(c)(3)s, I do the paperwork for that too. So that's one of the things we do through AHP Consulting. So that's why I had to have a place so we could showcase all the things we do, because we do a lot of things up under the umbrella of AHP Consulting.
Okay, awesome. So, as a certified professional life coach and employment coach, what advice do
Mhm.
you um, give adults looking to advance their careers after completing their education, or even like what I just mentioned about like
Mhm.
just the things that are just going on in our society right now regarding jobs and different people and their careers? What advice do you have?
The number one advice I would give is to stay relevant, to stay to stay knowledgeable of what it is in your field that's being offered. One of the things I used to tell my students when I was teaching in person in colleges a lot, and I used to work in the career workforce field with them, and I taught a lot of the career placement classes and things like that, was stay networking. You can network. You don't have to just people think networking is always just going to network meetings, but that's not the case. You have to be able to see what's going on in your field. So if you're in the medical field, you should be up to date and relevant on what's going on in your specific field. You need to know about your certifications. You need to know about making sure you stay certified in your areas. I have so many people that have certifications that have lapsed because they did not keep up with certifications. People that were certified medical billing encoders, certified medical billing, just medical assistants, lost their certification, lost their licenses because they just did not keep up with them. Had to go back and recertify, had to go back and retest, pay all those hundreds of dollars over again. So stay up to date. If a person does not invest in themselves enough to care about themselves, do you honestly think that the employer is going to care about hiring you? No.
Come on now.
If
You
you
speaking truth now.
don't if you don't even have a resume to showcase what you can do you think that they're going to care about hiring you? No, because for one, they're going to ask you for your resume and you don't have one. And then when they get the resume, it looks like it's thrown together. It looks like you just copy and paste something off of Google. You haven't took enough time to see what it is that they're looking for. Have you read the job description to see what they're looking for? Does your resume look like anything relating to this job at all, or does it showcase everything about something that someone else told you to put on the resume? So it's just certain things that you've got to look at and be able to understand that this is not going to cut it today. The old way we used to do things, it's not cutting it. This is cut and dry. Either they're gonna hire you or they're not. Either they're looking for what you are or they're not. And a lot of times with HR now, because I have a human resource management degree as well, a lot of times what these HR companies and offices are doing, they're just using keyword search engines in their job search. So they just put your resume through that system. They're looking for keywords. If they don't see no keywords, your resume gets tossed, and it's no, they don't know nothing about you even applied. Pretty much.
No, you brought up some very good points. One on the topic of networking, like you mentioned, that it's not limited to like events. The way that I met you was, and I saw your message. I think probably during the pandemic. We're part of
Mm,
a Facebook group called
yeah,
Blacks in Nonprofit. And
exactly.
when I was getting prepared for our curriculum, because we've started last year and this year, March, April, May, doing series of webinars. And I was like, okay, I want to do one on, so our focus is this year's adult education, digital literacy, financial literacy. So I
Mm,
was looking for adult education. I was looking for digital literacy. So I did a search in the Facebook group, and that's how I
wow.
saw your post. And I was like, "Oh, this is a couple of years old, so let me message you to find out if
And
you're
see if
still
I'm still
doing it."
here. Exactly.
Yeah, and so in fact, on the 27th, we're having digital literacy,
Mhm.
digital literacy, and an introduction to AI. And the gentleman that's going to be speaking, I found him
Awesome.
in the group as well. In
That
the
is
group as well.
great.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, use social media, for whether it's business, organization. This is how you network. So that definitely, you bring up a good point. The other thing, as far as like resumes, and in my field of work, and I've helped people with resumes as well. But it took a while. It's interesting though, especially I guess maybe if you've gotten into a position where you haven't had to apply for a job for a long time. But it's like I finally realized, I'm like, I'm gonna have to adapt this resume for each job that I apply for, because you can't just, unless it's the same field, maybe the same position, you can't just copy and paste for different
Mhm.
things. So on the topic of
Exactly.
like resumes and stuff, is that something that your organization also offers as well as part of that career coaching, or how would that
Yes.
work?
Yes, we do. For for all of our participants, it depends on the program, of course, which ones we have. But our students specifically that are in any type of basic education program, they are always there. That's one of the things that they're gonna exit with is a resume. When they leave our program, they will have a resume that will be for them when they graduate with any whether they get their GED, whether they get their high school diploma, they will graduate with their resume. Actually, one of our closing things they do when they're getting ready to graduate is to submit their resume for one of their overall projects. So they
Oh,
will have a
nice.
resume. And then if a person just wants our resume writing services, we do offer that. We do have partners that also have collaborated with us that do offer that service because, of course, we can't do everything. So if there's someone that needs a specific type of federal government resume, for example, I do have a local business that I do refer them to that needs for federal type of resumes. And if they need allied health medical, we have someone that does that. Now we are able to do those as well, but of course, if we're not able to do them, we do partner with others. So if there's someone out there that wants to partner with us and wants to be able to have us, to outsource that to them, we are happy to do that.
Oh, nice. Thank you for yeah. So they would contact you with the same
Mhm.
through the same
Mhm.
contact. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. So those who are tuning in, if you have services that align with what Dr. McGee, then she has those opportunities. I believe I also saw it on the Vision Virtual website. Also, I guess for um, organizations that have learning platforms. Is that what
Mhm.
the partnerships are? So great. I'm
Exactly.
glad that that is something that you also offer, because it's like, in addition to education, you're also offering people opportunities to expand their reach.
Mhm.
Um, and is that how, when you started your organization, whether it was Vision Virtual Learning or the consulting, was that your idea initially, or has it evolved over time?
It's always been my desire. I can remember years ago, even when I would do business symposiums, business conferences. I always opened up vendors to be at my conferences, not because I was trying to use them to sponsor my event, because a lot of times people do that. They'll get people to come in and help pay for their events, and we're just being honest, just keep it real. But I wanted to feature them. It almost brought tears to my eyes when you said it because I remember the one of the first conferences I did. So it didn't matter whether it was a ministry conference, business conference. I always invited people to be a vendor to give them a chance to show people what they had so they could be able to show their business off, be able to get them some extra money for their business. And so I've always felt like partnering with others and giving others an opportunity will always allow us to shine. And so I know that if I make the opportunity available for people, that my gift will make room for me. Just like, I put out there about what I wanted to do for the organization. Now I'm able to come on your platform and show what we do. So it has always been my desire to partner with people. And because of that, sometimes it doesn't come in monetary form. It comes in through opportunity to just showcase or share. Now, of course, I would love for you all to donate to the ministry, to the outreach, whatever we have. But sometimes it doesn't come through that. Sometimes it comes through just people partnering with you and just giving them an opportunity to be seen, so that people can. Because see, somebody I know somebody you don't know, and then they come to certain events, and then that's how it grew. So a lot of times the vendors became partners that way.
Yeah. No, that's
Hmm.
awesome because that's one the that's kind of the premise, or not kind of, it is the premise of
Hmm.
community outreach partners for empowerment. When my father started this organization, the idea is to partner with, it's not just us. We can't, like you mentioned a couple of times in this interview, that you can't do everything, right?
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
we there are other people, even with these six focuses that our organization has. you know um I understood that we can't do everything. I can't do everything. So it's like, okay, adult education. I know that there's organizations out here that's doing it. Let me find someone
Mhm,
who's already doing it and feature that and be like, hey, here is a resource for you to, because it is a passion of ours. But we're not set up at this time to offer that, but you already have it. You already
mhm,
have it. It's online, it's virtual. And so I think it is us working together is how we move the move things forward. And like you said, it's not always monetary. It may not be what it is that we're looking for initially, but it comes just how we need it. And so just again grateful for you taking my invitation to share about your organization and also other things that you were doing. I think so in our last we got probably about 15 minutes, but I
okay.
wanted to ask, so what message do you have for someone watching this webinar who may be hesitant to take the next step in their education? I know earlier you mentioned about staying relevant, but like say for instance, if they're kind of on the fence, they know that they need to make a transition, or they need to do something, you know, what would what would be your message for them to
My
take that
mess
next step?
Yeah, yeah, my message would be, the very essence that you are thinking about it means you need to go ahead and go forward. Because you have been provided the way, and one of our programs is called Avenue to Success. And, I would say that you already taken the first step for your avenue to success. You don't have to feel. One thing about my program is this: we're very confidential. I know people say this all the time, but they say that, but everybody know my business, and with adult learners, that is something that is very important to them. You know, Everybody doesn't need to know that Susie Jones does not have her high school diploma. Because for one, Susie Jones is working at a job that nobody knows that she doesn't have a high school diploma. And Susie is concerned that she may lose her job if someone knows. And so sometimes in a local area, that's why I said virtual is a good thing, because Miss McGee don't know you. I don't know your next door neighbor. You come to me for a service, I'm going to provide you the best service that I can possibly can for you. You have options to be flexible. You don't have to worry about leaving your home, or somebody seen me at the GED center. They're gonna know. No one's not gonna know. You can do it remotely. No one ever will know that you took the GED test. You're private, it's secure. And some people may say, I don't care. They shouldn't care about nobody. They care. People care. Because if they didn't care, they would have been done something.
Okay.
It it's a reason. When a
Yeah.
person has waited so long, there is some type of reason. They have different reasons why they have not went forward. A lot of times people have been given misinformation.
Mm.
Some people just don't know. I told a gentleman the other day, he kept saying, I gotta get down to the GED center. I said, no, sir, you don't. What you mean? I gotta go down and take my GED test. I said, sir, you don't have to take your I said, you have a computer at home? Yes. Got internet? Yes. Okay, we can start this today. You All you have to do is register for your practice test. You pay your practice test to get your practice test done. He said, yes. Okay. All right, then. They have been sent to your email. Take those 4 practice tests. Get back with me once you complete those. Okay. If you've made the appropriate score, you can go ahead and start testing for your GED today. That's it.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's good good information. No, that's the
Yeah.
real. It's the
Yeah.
real of what people are dealing with. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned earlier, and so at this point, I'm gonna, whatever you want to share that I haven't asked you about, or if you have upcoming events. You mentioned about conferences. I don't know if that's something you still provide, but just go ahead and if you have any upcoming events or anything that you want to share with the people, then this is your opportunity.
Yeah, well, we don't have any upcoming events as of today that we're planning. We have partnered a lot with a lot of different people. So a lot of the different events I used to do, I kind of have put them kind of standstill, and I have put myself as being a representative for adult education. So if someone has an event, you want someone to come in that has information to provide, feel free to contact me. I will come to your place of employment. Of course, I'm not in every, it's not a Miss McGee in every state, of course, so you have to send for me to come. But I can definitely come out to your event, talk to your people about what we offer, and even we can partner. Just say you have a organization that does not currently have an adult education program. You can connect with me, and we can maybe get an adult education program launched virtually, and your employees or your parishioners or your students can attend, and we can still be the administrator for them. I have had community organizations that didn't have one to actually sponsor, someone sponsored and they paid for us to be their adult education program, and we provided their GED practice test to them. We emailed it to them. All we did was made sure we checked on everything for each student, and they had a fully funded adult education program in their program. So just for example, if you're trying to get funding and you don't have an adult education program, and you're like, well, you want to put that in your government grant contract, then maybe you need to connect with us and we can be your provider. That was a nugget for somebody.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, uh-oh, they're gonna plug me. No, this has definitely been very, informative, and I definitely will be following up with you even about some things
Yeah.
organization. But I thank you so much, and I know March is Women's Month, so happy Women's Month,
Yeah. Same to
Women's History Month,
you.
and
Yes.
I am thankful that we're able to be positioned to, help and to share information and help, people, to move forward in their lives and to accomplish their visions and dreams. That is our mission here at Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment. So this is a Facebook Live. Now, Facebook just mentioned that they are only going to be having live videos available for like 30 days. So this will be
Wow.
on our Facebook page, Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, but we can also make it available as well. But as you're watching this, again, take the notes, take the nuggets, apply it to your life, and we encourage you to go out and achieve those goals and pursue the dreams and visions that you have been put in your heart. The time is now. Life is short, so
Exactly.
thank you again, Dr. McGee, for joining us this evening. And I just wish you well as far as in all your endeavors. And, look forward to continuing to, to work together and helping people achieve their goals. So thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
you for coming.
you. Likewise. I love your organization's vision and everything, and it's just awesome. Even though it was years ago that the initial post was done, but we're so grateful for that networking opportunity that we had in that group that allowed us to post that information. So I'm so glad that you were using your tools and able to find us, because it was just so amazing. I had just said to myself, I want to get this program out, up and going. I really want people to know more about us this year. And then you came in, you sent us an email. You were so persistent with us, and I'm so grateful for you. And I'm just looking forward to great things that we're going to do together. So thank
Right.
you so much again. And this won't be the last time. I am a wealth of knowledge. So I hope to be back again for some other type of webinar. Who knows?
Yeah, no, and also for those who will be watching, if you have questions or you have topics that you would like to hear more information on from myself or Dr. McGee, as she mentioned, she's an HR professional, and we know that there's a lot of things that are going on regarding people's jobs. So feel free to contact us. Her information's in the chat, and our organization information's there. We definitely can, provide another informational webinar on what it is that people that you want to know about and get more information about. So thank you so much, Mrs. McGee. I appreciate you for coming again, and everybody have a good night. Take care. Bye.
Bye.